Hey, Glovelies, and welcome back to Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Melissa.
And this week, we will be joined by our very first guest, our pal Justin, also known as BoomBoomBirdland. And we are going to talk all about the Baltimore Orioles this week. But of course, as always, if there's anything you want us to talk about on the podcast, be sure to leave it in the comments and be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify. And be sure to turn on those post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes. So, Melissa, let's kick things off with our Pookies of the week. Who is your Pookie of the week?
Mine is for this week, Samuel Basayo. First of all, we've all been waiting for him to come up all year long. Got signed and then got that amazing walk-off when we were against the Dodgers, again against the Pirates this week. His timing could not have been better to come up. It has been just amazing watching since he moved up in August, just to see how much he's evolved already. I cannot wait to see what next year holds for him. And I cannot wait to see what it's going to be like.
And so many people are saying that Samuel Basayo reminds them of young Manny Machado when he was on the Orioles. So I think that's such a strong parallel that is so compelling because obviously Manny Machado is still in the league. He plays with the Padres with Ramon and Ryan. So that's definitely a string that we are going to like to see and follow. Also, since we're going to talk all about the Orioles this week, I am awarding my Pookie of the week to someone from the Baltimore baseball scene. My Pookie of the week this week is the Iron Man himself, Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr., who we all know recently celebrated the 30th anniversary of 21-31 when he broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak. From all of us at Glove Actually, congratulations, Cal. You are forever not only Baltimore history, but Baltimore royalty and MLB history and MLB royalty. So congratulations.
Yes, congrats, Cal. And I'm so glad we were able to come through with that win for you during
Absolutely. That win, the walk-off win on 21-31 night, that was true Orioles magic, in my opinion. So
I don't think I've seen a more magical game. I loved it.
Okay, Glovelies, we want to hear from you. Who is your Pookie of the week this week? Let us know in the comments. So, very exciting evolution of the podcast. Today, we are going to be joined by our very first guest, the wonderful and talented Justin, who you might know better as BoomBoomBirdland. Welcome to Glove Actually, Justin.
Justin, so excited you're here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I was excited when you said, do you want to come on? So
of course. So for those of you who don't know, Justin has a podcast also called BoomBoomBirdland. And that was actually my first time ever being on a podcast. Justin reached out to me and asked me to come on and to talk Orioles with him. And that was a really great experience. And the way that I've kind of led this whole journey with Glove Actually has kind of been rooted in how you welcomed me to your podcast, Justin. So thank you very, very much for such a warm welcome.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Of course. So Justin, I gotta know, who is your MLB Pookie of the week for the week?
Melissa, thank you for saying Samuel Basayo, because I was deciding between him and someone else. So I'm gonna say Dylan Beavers.
Okay.
Yes.
Walk-off hit the other day, and he's been great. I think he's made a great impact so far.
He has.
So Justin, I would love to talk to you about just kind of the state of the Orioles overall. Things have really changed since the last time we've had a chance to chat. And then I would love to give you a rapid fire quiz for the Glovelies to be able to get to know you a little bit better and get your hot takes on our top 5 for this week. Does that sound good?
Awesome.
Perfect. Okay. So number one thing, I know we were talking about it last time we spoke back in July. It was a couple weeks before the trade deadline. So ever since things have really gotten shaken up, let's talk about it. Who do you miss? Who do you think they should try to maybe get back in the offseason?
I would say if one person, I think Laureano. I know he has been way better in San Diego than really shown on the O's, but I think that would be big. And I would say O'Hearn, but having Mountcastle and Mayo and then having a third first baseman doesn't make sense, especially when you have Samuel Basayo, who can also play first base.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Mountcastle Mayo, the dynamic definitely kind of leaves the question of, where would Ryan O'Hearn fit back in this Orioles team? So that is something that's been on my mind lately. I think a lot of times players are going to be affected by where they are team-wise, where they are geographically. And I feel like a lot of times it's all about a question of opportunity. And that was a big thing with Ryan O'Hearn when he came to Baltimore. It's been a big thing with Ryan O'Hearn since he went to San Diego. You know, for the first few weeks that he was in San Diego, Mike Schultz wasn't really playing him. And that was frustrating to a lot of not only Orioles fans and fans like myself, but a lot of San Diego fans were really upset. That was really frustrating. And so another thing that I wanted to ask you, Justin, I wanted to get your thoughts on what do you think is the Orioles' biggest obstacle they need to overcome in the offseason?
Biggest obstacle, I would say starting pitching. I mean, I think you can build the bullpen easily. I mean, you saw winter meetings last year. They got Kittredge, but they got a lot of pieces, and I feel like it's easy to get average bullpen pieces. It's hard to get quality pieces unless you trade. Mason Miller, for example, Ryan Helsley, Johan Duran. I mean, so there is good bullpen pieces out there. I think personally, and people might not like this, I think they should have traded Felix before the injury. Though I did love Felix. I mean, Felix has been great, but injury-wise, yeah. So I would want to say starting pitching. If you look at it, hoping, I don't know Grayson's timeline. If Grayson comes back, Bradish is healthy. I mean, we've already seen what a Bradish can do. Wells is healthy. That's 3 pitchers right there. Sagano, I don't know if he comes back. Kramer, I'm pretty sure he comes back. And I think Povich comes back. So we have 3 first off solid starters. If we can grab one more and then maybe Dean as the 5th. Again, Dean is iffy though. So it's
Well, that needs run support. So you can make a case that he might have a few bad days, but everyone has bad days.
Yeah.
And what is working against Dean Kramer right now is, it's not necessarily because he's pitched poorly. It's just that he's had no run support. So give that man some run support for the love of God.
If you want to talk about a team with no run support, Paul Skeens he could be 17-2 right now if he had run support. So talk about a team that needs run support.
That's why I was saying for the longest time, I think that it would be advantageous if we were aggressive about trying to trade for Skeens. I don't know if Pittsburgh was courting any offers for him, but I think that it's something that it might get him out of Pittsburgh to another environment where he could get run support. And I think he would fit in with the guys that we have. He seems like personality would kind of fit in. I am going to come back to pitching, but I do want to talk about one more thing. How do you feel about the Samuel Basallo contract extension and bringing up Dylan Beavers? I know this is something that we also talked a lot about the last time we spoke back in July. Tell me all your thoughts about that. Obviously, Dylan Beavers is your Pookie of the week, so you've got to feel pretty good about it.
So Samuel Basallo, 8 years, $87 million. It's great. I mean, that's a lot of money. But when you look at the MLB, $87 million is nothing. When Soto is getting $735, I think it was.
765, I think.
765, whatever it was. $87 million for 8 years is not a lot of money. I think it's good that you take a risk on it, because if he comes out next year and he goes crazy, teams are gonna be like, oh my God, let me sign this guy right now. Again, he can come out next year. It could be awful for all we know. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't. Of course, there's gonna be learning curves and that type of stuff. It happens with every player. It's happened with Machado when he came up, happened with Mancini when he came up, happened with Holiday when he came up recently. So there's gonna be learning curves, but I think that's really a steal. Dylan Beavers coming up. I was kind of surprised they brought him up before Basallo. I just wasn't expecting that. It's been great. He's hitting 300 right now, so that's great too.
I really think Beavers, Basallo, and Jeremiah Jackson have breathed new life into this team since the All-Star break. They seem like a whole new team, and they look like they're having fun again, which I think is making a big difference this month.
I know that there was just a lot of where do we go from here feeling after the trade deadline, because they lost so many players and they lost key guys. So to walk away from that, just sort of like, you know what, let's just put our noses down and try to have the best rest of the season that we possibly can. They're doing a great job. I think right now they're just trying to enjoy the rest of the season, give the baby birds a few good weeks.
I mean, I can't remember who said it, but they said that they were talking to Jackson Holiday the other night. It might have been Jeremiah, and they were about to go up to bat. It was the Dodgers game where we won in the walk-off, and Jackson just said, we have nothing left to lose. So just go out there and just do your best. And that's when Jackson hit the home run and got us out of the no-hitter.
I like seeing the boys just supporting each other.
I know, I do too. And I think it's just, they just have this attitude now where it. We're gonna have fun.
Well, it just speaks to their tenacity and their perseverance, and
Exactly.
that's really great for a young team to still have those qualities, and it's great for a young team that have a lot of young fans. So shout out Baltimore Orioles.
Hell yeah!
I will say though, I think Andy Pajes didn't really try on that ball that Holiday hit. I think if he tried, I think it could have been a no hitter. I really do.
Yeah,
I think he could have caught that ball.
He's no Cedric Mullins. He's not climbing walls back there.
Period. Okay, so one more thing I want to do while we're talking about the Orioles. We were just talking about how, look, going into this season, we knew that pitching was going to be a struggle. We've kind of macheted our way through this season as far as pitching goes. I've kind of taken myself out of the Baltimore bubble. I'm noticing that I feel like all of the Major League Baseball teams really have the same types of issues with pitching depth. I want to look at the current Orioles pitching roster, and I want to know, between all of us, would you keep this player, or would you, get rid of them in the off season? Where would you place them? Would you put them in the bullpen, keep them in the bullpen? Would you put them in the starting rotation, take them out of the starting rotation? So are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go alphabetically by last name. So we're going to start with Keegan Aiken.
Aiken, when there's no one on base, I think he's solid. Now, when there's people on base, I don't like seeing him. If I were to place Aiken, I'd put him at 6th or 7th inning.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I think I would keep him, but he's not a closer.
I mean, this is not a secret. I'm not Keegan Aiken's biggest fan, but I think that keeping him in the bullpen wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Moving on, Kyle Bradish, back from the IL. He's been killing it. So yeah. I would keep him, and I would keep him in the starting rotation. What about you guys?
100%. I would definitely keep him.
I would keep him. It depends where you want to put him. So I would say put him at 1 or 2 in the rotation.
Yenny or Cano?
Okay, so
yeah, I was about to say, who wants to start?
I can start.
Not me.
Recently, he's had 1 or 2 good outings, which I liked to see. I'd say keep him around. I think the Orioles will keep him around. It's just the Orioles, like, if you want someone reliable, maybe not.
I used to love it last season when Cano would come in, and I'd be like, oh yes. But this season, when I see him warming up in the bullpen, my first thought is, and it kind of hurts my heart a little bit to say, I love every Orioles player. I want them all to do well.
Whenever he's warming up in the bullpen and they show him warming up, I'm just like, I get stressed out, especially if we're up by like 1 run or less, if we're tied, or if we're down by 1, immediately I'm stressed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's going to be a no from me.
Same here.
He hasn't been as sparkly as he was last year. No. Sean Dubin.
Honestly, I feel like he's a dude that you could pick up on the street.
Is he probably going to stay? Probably not. One of those names is like comes and goes.
I wish he had made more of a mark on the team. Dietrich Enns. How are we feeling about Dietrich Enns? I love Dietrich Enns personally.
That's a guy that if you want to put him as the closer, him or Garcia, I would totally be fine with that. I've just been up on Dietrich Enns ever since he's been here. I think he's a great guy. I just think he pitches great. He has a calm presence, and he just goes out there and does his job.
Okay, Rico Garcia. How do we feel?
I like his expressions, man, when he's pitching. He's got this look that says, don't with me when he pitches. I've liked watching him pitch so far. Like, I think he's done pretty well.
Just to fact check myself, we got Dietrich Enns from the Detroit Tigers.
Charlie. Okay. I knew we got him for somebody. Okay.
No. We got him for cash considerations. It was not for Uncle Charlie.
I haven't checked. How is Charlie doing?
Uncle Charlie, I miss you. Let's take a Charlie Morton pause. So moving on from Rico Garcia, Dean Kramer. I'm keeping Dean Kramer, and I will die on that hill because, again, that man just needs run support.
I'd keep Dean.
This is just me, how I think it, but I personally think that the Orioles are holding on to him as like a prized piece from that Machado trade. He's the only person left from that Machado trade. So that's personally what I feel. I'd keep him.
Cade Povich. I would
young.
keep him. I would keep him again. He's young. He fits in with the overall architecture of the team right now. I would like to see him stay healthy for a full season.
I think I've seen Cade pitch the most this year out of all the pitchers when I went to the games. It was mostly Cade that I saw.
I also did his first start against Atlanta last season, and he looked amazing. And if he could look like that, great. I mean, but you got to think when he came up, no one knew what he was going to throw.
I feel like this is unanimous. Trevor Rogers, obviously keep.
Not just keep him, clone him. Thank you. Modern science, get on it. There's your first subject.
Cade Stroud.
He's on and off usually. I'd keep him though.
Albert Suarez, once again, back from the IL.
Unless you can trade for his brother secretly, I'd keep him.
Yeah, I'd keep Suarez.
Tomoyuki Sagano.
He's gone.
I agree with you. Just don't feel like he's made enough of a dent.
He did great at the beginning of the season. It was like, Sagano's pitching. Oh, sweet. We're probably going to win. And then all of a sudden, nosedive.
Tyler Wells, he's back from the IL once again. That seems to be a recurring theme.
Yeah, it definitely is a recurring theme. I wish I'd been a little earlier in the season.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I would keep him.
I think he is a 2-position player, and I think he can be bullpen and he can be starting pitcher. But I mean, right now, keep him as a starter. I mean, look what he's done recently. So keep him as a starter until otherwise, but he's great for the fan base.
Grant Wolfram? Anybody? He's another one that I feel like it wouldn't necessarily hurt my feelings if he left. If he stayed, I would expect more from him.
I would think I'm going to go with what we said with Aiken, like 6th or 7th inning, but is he a closer?
I would agree with that.
I'd keep him. I don't know what the O's are going to do with him. I think he can be gone for all we know. He could have been there just to take innings. So.
I mean, there's a ton of other pitchers that aren't on this list. You know, Zach Eflin's not on this list. I really don't know what's going to happen with him, and Felix Bautista as well. There's been a lot of rumors saying that based on all the issues that he's had, he might never pitch again.
Suck.
I would never want to put that out into the universe, but
Felix?
Yeah, Felix.
When I just think about this, it like hurts me inside. But
my favorite Felix Bautista memory was one of the series that I went to in Tampa. Felix came out to close, and I was on my feet, shrieking at the top of my lungs, and I screamed, "It's mountain time, baby!" And Anthony Sanders turned around and looked right at me, and he just giggled.
You got the attention.
Anthony Sanders and I are friends, so it's fine. Now that we've kind of gotten into, you know, a good bit of what the Orioles are dealing with, Justin, we're going to hit you with some rapid fire questions so that our listeners can get to know you a little better. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. All right, let's go. What's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Favorite sports team?
Orioles and Ravens.
Okay. Favorite current active athlete?
Basayo.
Favorite color?
Neon green, I love. Purple too, though.
What's your favorite movie?
Now you put me on the spot. I could say so
That's
many.
the point.
I know, right?
Right now, though, I think Superman.
What's your favorite ballpark snack?
I got to go with the hot dog.
Classic. And if you played baseball, what would your walk-up song be?
Oh, I'm looking at my playlist real quick.
That's a really hard one to do, rapid fire.
I know.
I think Rock That Body by Black Eyed Peas would be kind of tough.
Okay, that's got a good beat. And finally, what is your favorite sports memory?
Favorite sports memory? 2012 when the Ravens lifted the Lombardi.
Hell yeah. Nice. I love that. The Beyonce halftime show that took out the power. I remember. All right, moving on, Glovelies. Let's get into our top 5 of the week. So this week, we are going to break down our top 5 favorite current Orioles players. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, you can include ones on the injured list if you want to, completely up to you. So Justin, would you like to go first and hit us with your number 5?
At 5, let's put Dietrich Enns.
All
Solid
right.
choice.
Solid.
So for my number 5, I actually also went with a pitcher. I went with Dean Kramer, and I've said it before like 6 times since we've been recording this podcast. Give this man some run support for the love of God, please. Melissa, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is a tie between Jordan Westburg and Jackson Holiday. I would have loved to have seen how many home runs Westburg would have hit had he not been injured so much on and off throughout the season. I feel like he could have really done some damage with some home runs. And I do love some Jackson Holiday. I think he's just amazing. And I can't wait to see how much he evolves in the next few years as he grows.
All right, Justin, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is probably Samuel Basayo.
Courtney, who's your number 4?
I kind of lumped them all together, but the baby birds are my number 4. So Samuel Basayo, Dylan Beavers, and Jeremiah Jackson are going to share my number 4. They have 3 of the 5 walk-off wins of the season between the 3 of them. So great job, baby birds. We love you.
My number 4 is Colton Cowser. I love Cowser. I think there's nothing wrong with Cowser. Yes, he has good days, he has bad days, but he just brings so much joy to the team. I feel like with his sense of humor and his personality. Like, I don't know what the team would be without Colton Cowser.
All right, Justin, hit us with your number 3.
My number 3, Jeremiah Jackson. I mean, self-explanatory. Came up from the minors. Really, we weren't even expecting anything from him. So just what he's gave us so far has been great.
I also went with a Jackson for my number 3, and I went with Alex Jackson. I think he is a really unexpected gem from this season. He's been a great offensive and defensive producer, and his career trajectory reminds me a lot of Ryan O'Hearn. He's bounced around a little bit, and since he's been with us, he's actually kind of really found his niche, and I feel like I would really like to continue to see him contribute to our team. And watching him do that little Happy Gilmore swing and hit a home run was really fun.
Oh my God, that was so amazing. And it was like the same day Happy Gilmore 2 came out too.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
I bet someone dared him to do that. And I want, like, show your face, whoever you are.
My number 3 is Gunnar Henderson. I love Gunnar. My daughter has the monopoly on Gunnar in the house, so he can't be my number 1. She would be very mad if I picked him as number 1. I would love to know what is, going through Gunnar's head right now. I feel like he's definitely a little frustrated. I just hope that he gets to a point where he feels like he's having fun again. Up until recently with September, when we've had a better record, I think he's starting to have fun, but I think up until that point, he was not. And I don't know if we pushed him too hard to be a big major star too quickly. I wish good things for Gunnar, and I hope we see great things from him next season, because when he's on, he is an amazing player.
I don't know if I believe in the cover curse, but a lot of people are saying it's the cover curse.
That's only for Madden.
I disagree. All right, Justin, hit us with your number 2. What you got?
Number 2? Oh, can I have a 3-way tie?
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll allow it.
Jordan Westbury, Gunnar Henderson, and Jackson Holiday is my 3-way tie for number 2.
Mhm.
Okay, that's very fair. My number 2 is a 4-way tie between Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, and Colton Cowser. I made a meme earlier this season with the picture of them wearing the velour tracksuits walking in, and it was the quote tweet of "best friends should be able to get hired as a set."
Did you see the pictures for their team photos?
Yes. Oh my God.
God, I'm not kidding. I would love, it's on my bucket list. This is a bucket list item that will obviously never ever be manifested, but I would love to drink with those guys just one time. Just
So good.
can I sit down and have a drink with you guys and just hear your banter? I would love that.
Melissa, who is your number 2?
Number 2 is Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers has quickly become one of my favorites this year. Every single time he pitches, I feel like we're going to win that game. He gives me warm fuzzies for the team.
Warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. And capping it off, Justin, who takes your number 1 spot?
Trevor Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Rogers is also my number 1. So
If Kyle Bradish or Wells pitched the whole season, it might have been one of them, but Trevor Rogers.
Agreed.
true.
Yes.
yeah, he's really made his mark on this season. And I don't think it's unreasonable to have him potentially being in the running for a Cy Young. I don't think that's crazy. Probably not realistic to expect him to win. However, I think that he should definitely be a part of the conversation because of how well he has pitched this year.
I agree. I agree with that.
Also got a shout out. My honorable mention is obviously my number 1 Pookie, Ryan O'Hearn. He would be my number 1 pick if he still played in Baltimore, but unfortunately he does not. So,
well, Ryan, we miss you. Come back anytime.
miss you always.
My number 1 is no surprise to Courtney, I'm sure, and it's purely an emotional pick. It is Adley Rutschman. I love Adley.
Not Hadley Slutchman.
Adley, if you haven't figured that out by now, based on everything I've said about you already in the first few episodes.
All right, Glovelies. Well, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with our top 5 picks? Let us know in the comments. All right, so before we get into our recommended reading for the week, I would like to take a moment to shout out Justin once again from BoomBoomBirdland for joining us today. Justin, where can our listeners find you if they want to follow more of your content?
Okay, so Instagram, YouTube, BoomBoomBirdland. And then I have a TikTok. Not a lot.
And you also have your podcast on Spotify.
Yeah, which is still Boom Boom Birdland. My TikTok is JustinL294.
All right, Justin, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Thank you.
All right, Lovelies. Before we wrap up, we are going to leave you with some recommended reading for this week, brought to you by our very own Melissa over at No Regrets Reader. Take it away, Melissa.
Awesome. Since football season is officially in full swing, and I'm going to change it up. We've been talking baseball this whole episode. I'm going to switch it up to football, guys. This week's recommendation is a football romance with one of my favorite golden retriever main characters. The book is Say You Swear by Meagan Brandy. So the plot is Ariana has been in love with her twin brother Mason's best friend Chase for as long as she can remember. She's fairly certain Chase feels the same way, but Mason, persistent cock block all through high school, doesn't let them ever get close. So during a last minute beach trip right before they begin their freshman year of college, Ariana gets the guts to make a move on Chase. So she begins a series of these sexually charged interactions that go absolutely nowhere because Chase freezes up every single time because he's worried that Mason's going to discover them. So he doesn't want to cross out of the friend zone. So Ariana gets frustrated that things are going nowhere with Chase, and then she befriends Noah. Noah is the senior quarterback on their college football team. He's vacationing in the same spot, and he just happens to be teammates with Mason and Chase. So Ariana vents to Noah about Chase, and Noah tells Ariana one of my favorite quotes: "Nothing forces a man to face his feelings for a woman more than the interest of another man." So of course, Chase sees Noah and Ariana together and starts to get jealous, just as Noah predicted. So before the end of their vacation, Chase finally makes his move and immediately chickens out the next morning when Mason suspects something happened. He pushes Ariana away, says it was a mistake, and of course, he devastates her just when she thinks things are about to turn the corner with Chase. School begins. Ariana's depressed, withdraws from the social scene, and the only person that seems to be able to bring her out of her shell is Noah. Noah becomes that safe place for Ariana, and as the two get closer, they fall in love, and it's so sweet and adorable. And Chase watches from the sidelines. He becomes more envious and realizing he missed his shot. So tensions start to rise in their friend circle, on the football team, and finally between Noah and Ariana, when he realizes he may still have some competition for Ariana's heart with Chase. And just when you, the reader, fall totally in love with Noah, here comes a traumatic twist, and you begin to wonder if Noah will ever get its happily ever after. It's a good twist too. I read it and I actually kind of threw my book across the room when I read it. I was like, what the hell is this?
I love when a twist kind of just takes you by like such like full force surprise.
Oh yeah. I can't remember if I read the synopsis for this book before I picked it up, and I don't remember if it's actually written in the synopsis, but I would go into this book blind just for that reason, because it makes the twist so much better when it does happen.
Okay, I got it.
So anyways, Noah, he is the epitome of the perfect main male character written by a woman. I really do not think there is a guy out there that exists that is like Noah Riley. I mean, he's perfect. I mean, take the best looking football player you can think of, who's the most smitten athlete you can think of. And yes, I know people are going to think, oh, Travis Kelce.
I was thinking Travis Kelce, to be fair.
I mean, yes, but even Travis Kelce comes nowhere close to Noah Riley. He's hot. He's athletic. He's loyal, smitten little kitten. He's wise beyond his years. He's a communicator. He's patient. He's considerate, and he's persistent, but not to the point where it's overwhelming and annoying. And he's incredibly selfless, like almost to a fault.
I just need the men out there to take some notes.
Yeah. Everyone be more like Noah. So as much as you swoon over his best qualities, you do reach a point in the story where you're like, Noah, you got to fight, be a little selfish, because being the good guy is going to screw you over. So anyways, again, book is Say You Swear by Meagan Brandy. So your tropes, you got new adult, college football, love triangle, friends to lovers, golden retriever MMC, he falls first, all with that twist. Like I said, you're gonna read it and you're like, what the just happened? In baseball terms, the book is a solid home run, or if you want to give it football terms, it's a touchdown in the fourth quarter on the last play of the game. I gave it 5 stars the first time I read it. About 3 years ago, I recently reread it. Stars hold up. As far as spice goes, when things heat up between Ariana and Noah, we're talking some postseason spice. The book gets hot. Noah doesn't just dominate on the football field, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
So if you read this book and you think to yourself, my significant other is just like or better than Noah, then good for you because you found yourself a unicorn.
Cool. Let me know where I can find these unicorns.
Oh my God. He's amazing.
Yeah. If you have a unicorn, I'm going to need you to find me one, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I have not, all of my book friends that have read this book, everyone thinks Noah is pretty much the best book boyfriend ever. So I hope everyone enjoys it if you read it.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that recommendation, Melissa. That is definitely one that I think I'm going to check out. So if our listeners would like to get in touch with you to ask questions or make recommendations of their own, where can they find you?
I am on Instagram and Facebook, no_regrets_reader. Hit me up. And if you have recommendations for me, give them to me. I love recommendations. I will read them.
Perfect. All right. Well, Glovelies, that's going to do it for this episode of Glove Actually. Thank you so much for joining us this week. And Melissa, what are you looking forward to most this week in the world of baseball? Who do you hope has fun?
If it's the last week of the season, then I hope that the Baltimore Orioles have a great last week. Get ready, boys. We're going to already start getting into next season. Let's get ready. Just end the season and let's move on and take it next season.
So, conversely, I hope the San Diego Padres have fun this week. They've been my unexpected pleasant surprise from this season. Again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. I never thought I was going to be a Padres fan, but now that I'm a Padres fan, I'm a Padres fan for life. I think their organization is great.
And that's honorable mention. I hope that our Orioles that moved over have a good last week and then they get to go into the postseason.
All right. Well, this has been Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Melissa.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on Spotify. And be sure to turn on your post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes. Have a great week, Lovelies. And as always, be kind, keep it cute, and stay lovely.
Lovely.